Riddle me this. Yaha. Riddle me this. So stupid. So stupid. Hi. Sorry. I'm still hooked on that girl from TikTok that I mentioned yesterday. I went down memory lane and I like watched a bunch of her other TikToks that I really liked that I had in my little like playlist thing, my likes. The one that I mentioned where she's like, at the end of the day, it wasn't a continuation of this series, but it was kind of derivative of this series. She had this other series of like 4 or 5 videos, maybe less, where the concept was that you're both telepathic, like you can both communicate through telepathy. And one of them that I really liked was like, riddle me this. Like she had a series of TikToks where in order to convey that she was telepathic, that she was a telepath, she would start a sentence and then finish it by just staring right down the lens of the camera. Oh, it cracked me up so bad. It cracked me up so bad. But yeah, in order to do that, I had to find her, by the way. I mentioned at the time that I could not remember who she was. Her name, just so you can check her out too, because she's really funny. I think she's one of the funniest people that have ever touched TikTok. Her display name is Casey. Her username is the letter K, the letter C, Winnie, like the poo. KC Winnie. Yeah, I found her. I found her. Big fan. Big fan of the one where she goes, at the end of the day, pointing at you like you're Goody Proctor. Oh, she's so funny. She's so funny. Anyway, how have you been? Sorry, not to jump right in talking about TikTok again. I don't know. I remembered her recently out of nowhere, and she's all over my head again. I just all in my mind. I replay a list of 4 or 5 videos of her, just in my mind. Once she's there, she's just so funny. Seen this guy building a 10-foot animatronic? No, I've not seen that. I don't actually scroll on TikTok anymore. I had to set a strict rule that I would not scroll anymore. So if I watch a TikTok, it means it's been sent to me by somebody, usually. Even in my memory lane stroll, I didn't actually look for anything new. I just scrolled through my old likes to find it. And then I found it. Riddle me this. Riddle me this. Any chat speed run? Will he do it? Will he fail? I'll do it. I got only an hour today. For 2 reasons actually. I'm super busy today. I did not get quite as much done yesterday as I'd planned because my mom and my sister dragged me out on a spontaneous trip to the thrift store. They were like, Kaelix, you want to come with us? I was like, you know what? It's been a while. I need a break. So I went out with them. And so I lost several hours that I was planning to spend working yesterday. And then after the Totsu stream as well, I lost some time because I say lost. It's more like I spent time. I don't regret the time that I spent, but I didn't spend it on work like I planned to. I ended up hanging out and call with some other livers for several hours, like into the night. It's part of why I woke up later than usual too. Yeah, so on one hand, I'm busy. I've got like time that I have to make up for that I spent on other things, hanging out with family and friends. And then for the other thing, here in an hour, speaking of the Totsu, Miss Rosemi Lovelock will be having her final stream, and I don't want to stream over that. That would be so lame of me to do. So I'll just be redirecting straight into it when it starts. Of course, I do value any second that we can get in chatting. It's been so hard lately. I miss streaming more regularly. I'm gonna set a goal to do that definitely in October, right? Like by October, I want to be super regular with streams again. September, I want to like ease into it by the halfway point. I mentioned this before, but like the first week and a half to 2 weeks of September will still be pretty busy, but I'll be easing up and I'll be gradually getting back into streaming more often. So I hope you can look forward to it. Thank you for being so patient with me this month. It's been a lot of stuff that I had to grind through. Yeah, now today is actually Thursday. Today is actually Thursday. You may remember the last time we had a chat, I thought that it was Thursday, but it was actually Tuesday. And so when I got to talking about my schedule, I was like, tomorrow is Friday and we'll be doing this. But it was not Thursday, which meant that tomorrow was not Friday. Tomorrow was Wednesday, which was yesterday. Capiche? do you follow? I realize that might be a pretty confusing line of words that I've just strung together. Yeah, no, it's actually Thursday. It's actually Thursday. And you know what it feels like to me? You know what it feels like? It feels like it's Saturday. It felt like I was supposed to start up karaoke today. I'm just running 2 days ahead. I don't know what's going on. Are you sure it's Thursday? Am I sure? No. Let's check. Yes, it's Thursday. I'm sure. I trust my calendar. Yeah, tomorrow is peak. Tomorrow is peak. I'm so excited. We'll talk about that at the end of the stream, though, when I speedrun my ending. My biological clock. See, that's the thing. I keep thinking I'm at a different time of the week, but my biological clock, right? That's going great. I'm getting minimum 9 hours of sleep every night. Last night, I got like 12 hours. I got like 12 hours of sleep. I'm doing great as far as my biological clock goes. I'm sleeping almost half of the day every 24-hour period, which is great for me. Great for someone my height. Yeah, I win. I win. Yeah, almost 12. I think I slept like 11, but it's hard to say because I didn't have an exact timestamp. All I remember is I remember when I had to be like, okay, guys, I can't hang out anymore. I gotta sleep. And they were like, no, because that's what I always say. It was funny. It was funny. They Uno reversed me. Because usually if I'm like, I gotta go, they're like, okay, Kaelix, see you later. Get some good sleep. You know, typical farewell. But whenever anybody else tries to leave a VC, I'm like, no, stay forever. Don't go. You're not allowed to leave till I leave. And made a big show out of that when somebody left earlier in the call. So they flipped it back around on me. It was really funny. Yeah, we sat and called last night to give you like a little update on what's happened for me lately, aside from just work, which I can't really talk about. We called for... I'm doing some mental math based on like when the Totsu was. It was shortly after... I joined shortly after my time in the Totsu, which was actually like 30 to 45 late, I think. And then... I think we called for about 5 or 6 hours. 5 or 6 hours. And we weren't really doing anything. Some of us had Final Fantasy open. I opened it too, but I didn't play anything. I don't have any duty roulettes to do until I pick another class to level up. I just opened it to follow around Uki, who was exploring a new area. Yeah, we just talked about all kinds of stuff. It was really nice. I haven't been able to see as much of the other livers lately in general as well. Like, it's not just that I can't stream, you know, I've not really been able to hang out and call people as much lately either because I've been focused on work. So I really appreciated that. I had a really good time. I'm always happy to hang out with them. It was a really nice call. Yeah, it was kind of like Final Fantasy AFK call in the case of some of us. Others were, oh my gosh, it was so funny. I think it was Finana that pressured Vanta to join the group in like doing some duty roulettes or something like that. And halfway through, Vanta was like, "Wait, you've already done this?" And she's like, "Yeah, I never said I hadn't done it." And they had this fight where it was so goofy. It was this back and forth of like, why would I want to do this if you've already done it today? And then she and everybody else were just kind of like, what? Don't you just want to play the game? Don't you enjoy playing the game? He's like, no, but like, why would I want to do this if you've already done it today? It was just it was so funny. Yeah, I think in general, Finana is a very talented rage baiter. You know what I mean? She's very skilled when it comes to inciting anger and frustration in others. Doing the least, by the way. Like, she doesn't even have to work that hard. Like, it's so effortless. Like, she's just minding her business as far as appearances go. I think I've described this before. She'll just be like, hi, and then, you know, depending on who she said it to and in what context, the other person's just like foaming at the mouth, spitting everywhere, like, why? What's your problem? I think that's important context. I think the context I described this before was like the way that Wilson gets mad at her. I think that is because sometimes she rage baits him, but it makes it so funny because when like he'll get mad even when she's not doing anything because of the other times that she defaults to rage baiting. She'll just be minding her business. Just be like, hi, Wilson. And I'll be like, leave me alone. I love these guys. They're so funny. Hanging out with them can be so funny sometimes. I always try to put myself out there, you know, and be involved in the interaction. But other times, I like to just sit back with my popcorn, you know, just observe. But my voice impressions, no, I don't have any of the livers down. I really want to practice some though. I want to have at least one liver that I'm really good at impersonating someday. Because I feel like everybody's got one, or a lot of people have somebody, or like some people like Ren can just do everybody in the entire company like it's nothing. Yeah, I wanna get somebody down. I wanna practice and master something. I was totally overlooked as a candidate for the Wilsoneer impersonation contest. So I gotta lock in. I gotta perfect it. That's one everybody seems to have. Yeah, no, I'll be a shoo-in if we ever get Jennifer Coolidge to audition. if she ever applies, if she decides that like acting is like done and she doesn't want to do that anymore, and she decides she wants to become a liver, wants to come join NIJISANJI, I'll be a shoo-in. I'll have a coworker that I can flawlessly impersonate in that case. No, I don't even think my impersonation of her is flawless. I think I have a good impression of other people impersonating Jennifer Coolidge. You know what I mean? Like, if you put me next to Jennifer Coolidge, I would sound nothing like her. But if you put me next to like every TikTok and every YouTube video of people impersonating her, I'd trump all of them. You know what I mean? I'd win. Makes me want a hot dog real bad. Oh my gosh, that makes me think of there's this TikTok that my sister sent to me that cracked me up really bad. Apparently another trend this is related actually to like the Jennifer Coolidge thing with everybody wanting to impersonate Jennifer Coolidge. There's a newer impersonation trend recently where everybody's impersonating Bobby Hill from King of the Hill. The one I saw, it cracked me up really bad. He's like, God, what did he say? He was talking about Labubus. And there's just something about him saying it in that, like, you know, in his little accent. It was so funny. Cracked me up so bad. Dad, I want a Labubu. Luann, I got the Labubu. I can't go high enough. I got the Labubu. I can't go high enough to do Bobby Hill. Mm. Some people are really good at it though. Yeah, I just can't go. I can't go high enough to do his voice.
I got the labubu.
Oh my goodness. Anytime I hear or think about Bobby Hill, I remember that one episode. I've never even seen the episode. I've never personally watched King of the Hill. But I've seen clips that really cracked me up. I think of this clip where I think he had a surprise party, or he was expecting a surprise party because it was his birthday, right? And he and Luann go into the house expecting to see everybody waiting for him. And she screams like, "Surprise!" And he's like, "Bleh!" Like he just makes the most ridiculous noise ever. He's like, "Bleh!" Sounded like Crash Bandicoot. It was so silly. It was so goofy. It was so goofy. And then he does it again. They run it back because they think, oh, maybe he's in my bedroom or whatever, you know? Maybe they're in my bedroom. And then they go there and he does the whole thing again, but he does it like even bigger than the first time. It was so goofy. It cracked me up.
It cracked me up real bad.
Is King of the Hill still going? Is it still airing? I figured it was done by now. Hold on. Last episode. Let's see. When was the most recent episode? Most recent episode. I'm kind of tempted to get into it because everything I've seen has been really funny, but oh my god, they haven't done like a season since 2010 apparently, but they're doing it again now. They're doing a new season this month. They started like 3 weeks ago apparently, if I'm reading this right. What? Since when? Since 3 weeks ago. Well, I had no idea. Wow, that's pretty cool. Have you watched it? Does it live up to the original? This is something I see all the time these days. I feel like they'll rerun a show that has not seen any new content in over a decade, and then half the people are like, "Finally, my comfort character has returned. He's living." And then the other half are like, "This sucks. It's nothing like the original. How dare you? You desecrate my memory." Where do you fall? Is it good? It's hilarious. I see. That's good. That's pretty good. Again, I haven't seen any of the original series, so I'd have no insight either way. But I am curious about it. I think cartoons like these can be pretty funny sometimes. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to think. There's this other TikTok someone sent me of Bobby Hill, but I think they swapped him with the kid from the movie's called Hereditary, I think, right? And it made it so goofy, but also so much more sad. Kind of crazy. Oh man. Daria, huh? That's something else I've never seen, but I have seen her. She's God, what is the name of that cartoon? She's from another cartoon. She's from another cartoon. I can't remember. Lars of the Stars. Wait, is there a Steven Universe spin-off coming? Hold on, what? Lars of the Stars. Oh my god! There's a Steven Universe spin-off series! What? I thought it was done forever! Oh my gosh, that's great. I love Steven Universe. I haven't thought of or watched any Steven Universe since Future dropped. I was watching Future every week as it came out, I think. I'm pretty sure. I might be misremembering that, like conflating it with something else, but I've seen that. And then I never watched any of it ever again. Hmm. Best gem. I love best gem as a parallel of like best girl from like idol franchises. Like, who's your best girl? Best gem would be either Pearl or Peridot. I love them both a lot. I may have given a decisive answer between those two at one point, but I'm usually torn between them. I love something about both of them. Or I love a lot of things about both of them. Yeah, I like Pearl and Peridot. I don't know. I just kind of like, in general, I tend to be very drawn to characters that I can see some of myself in. Because I don't know, I've always... It just brings me a sense of comfort to see characters that remind me of me. Because it makes me feel cool. You know what I mean? Like, because these characters are really cool and they remind me of me. So maybe I'm cool too, is my thought. You know what I mean? So seeing a character like Pearl, for example, who's very like, you know, she's more... She's kind of... God, what are the words I'm looking for? She takes things like order very seriously. And like she's always trying to keep things clean and tidy. That's something I used to be kind of insecure about in myself because I've always been that type. I've always been the type that tried almost in a way that imposed on others to keep things orderly. So seeing a character like that, it's nice. Similar things with Peridot. Yeah. It's like the same reason one of my favorite characters from like Danjo Meshi, we were talking about this not too long ago, is Laios, because I see so much of myself in him. It's nice. I find comfort in characters that remind me of me. It makes me feel cool. So neurotic. That's one way to put it. It's nice to see a character that's neurotic in the way that I'm neurotic. Oh, so funny. Yeah, I love Steven Universe. I haven't thought about it in a long time. I'll have to watch that. Does it have a release date? Does it have a runtime announced yet? Or has it just been announced that it's coming? Lars of the Stars. I'll have to check that out. Favorite song? Oh, it's not out yet. It's not announced yet. I see. Like they've just said that it's in production. I see. Yeah, as far as favorite songs go, I really love... It is such a pedestrian choice, but you know I love Pearl. It's Over, Isn't It? Has got to be a favorite. Because you know I love Pearl and I love Dee Dee Magno Hall. That's her name, right? Her voice actress. I'm pretty sure that's her. I love her voice very, very, very much. I love like the musical theater type tone that she sings in. And I love jazz. I love jazz piano. It's just kind of like a meeting ground of a bunch of things that I really love to listen to. So I love It's Over, Isn't It? That one makes me happy. I love what's the name of the... It all became so lovely, that bluest sky above me. So many colors I have never felt before I met you. What's that one called? It's Lapis that sings it, I think. I really like that one too. Maybe I'm not alone. I really like that one too. I really like the ones that are influenced by jazz. That one had a very bossa nova feel to it. For the same reason, I really love the full arrange for Love Like You, which is also a very pedestrian choice, but those are some of the jazziest songs in the franchise, and I just like jazz. I love jazz. I love jazz. I love bossa nova. Bangers. Bangers, all of them. I love Rebecca Sugar. I think they're such a good songwriter. Yeah. I think I've showed it before. I really love their solo album that they released a couple years ago, I think. Spiral Bound, I think that's what it's called. Highly recommend. Got a couple bangers in there. I'm a big fan of the one that goes, good morning, afternoon. Good morning, afternoon. Very, very sweet. A new one. Oh, is there a new release for them? New solo release? I gotta keep up. I've been falling behind on just all kinds of things recently. The last year, I've been very removed from parts of the internet that I used to pay more attention to. Let's see. Do I like Loive? I do. I do love Loive. I really like her music. I think we need more artists like Loive front and center and like entering mainstream, because that gives more of a platform to jazz. There are so many artists out there today making jazz music as their main thing, but I feel like they don't get the love they deserve. It's such a, I don't know, it's such a complicated genre, and often people that perform it put a lot of work into it. So it makes me really, really happy to see someone like Loive get this kind of reception and stardom, you know what I mean? So I love her. I love what she does. I want more of her. I would like 6 more of her in mainstream, please. It'd be so nice. Actually, how to pronounce it? I'm pretty sure. It's like an Icelandic name, I think, right? I know it's not Laufey. I'll say that for sure. I think I've heard Leve as well. I think it's more of like a Loive. I don't know if I'm saying that right though, because I do not know any Icelandic. I've seen it written as Leve, but when I heard her say it, it sounded more like that to me. It sounded more like Loive. I don't know. It's hard to say. And by hard to say, I don't mean it's difficult to pronounce. I mean it's hard to say which thing that I've heard and seen is the correct one. She said it that way too. She said it as both. Which one is the real one? How am I supposed to know? Oh, so it's like an Icelandic pronunciation and an English pronunciation. So like in an English sentence, I might say leve. I see. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, I really like her music. I love her voice too. It's no secret. I'm a big fan of like girls with lower voices, especially when it comes to singing. I've always really loved that tone, that kind of like darker and rounder and richer type of vocal tone. So I love listening to her sing. It's always really nice. I like her. I was actually, this is another one of my like, I liked it before it was cool moments. I hate to be that person, but I remember I was following her stuff before some of her big viral releases. When I first discovered her, she was just doing simple covers with her voice and a cello. So it's been really, really cool to see her progress at this point as well. I was an OG. I was there, I swear. Hot cocoa on a winter's day. That's a really nice way to put it. I love when people describe voices in these ways. I think people should do that more often. People should come up with ways to describe voices like that. My voice has been described in a couple ways over the years, and I remember them very vividly, a couple of these. One person said that my voice sounded like chocolate covered caramel when I sing jazz. Someone that I knew when I was still studying. And that stuck with me for a really long time. And then someone else told me that it felt like sunlight coming through a window onto a carpet that you're laying on. Sunlight coming through a window onto like a carpet that you can lay on, like a cat almost. And that stuck with me for a long time too. I don't know that I'd personally describe my voice in either of these ways though. I don't quite hear that, but because someone took the time to articulate it this way, you know, I remember it. I think creative compliments like that are super epic. There are some other things that I've heard more recently from you that stick in my mind, but I'm a little shy about that. So I'm gonna keep it to myself. But there are some things that I've read, for example, that I'll remember for a long time, maybe forever. I appreciate that you're always so kind, so nice, so sweet. Sunlight during the summer, huh? If I had to describe my voice, I think it would be like a guy who has a big red nose and wears clown shoes. Big, giant, size 12. No, 12 is actually kind of small because I think I wear 12 and a half, 13. I think I was aiming to say like 16, 17. Size 17 shoes. And then like big white face paint. Maybe. I think that's how I sing. I think that's how I sound. Yeah, I think I sound like a clown. No insult. No insecurity. I think the world needs more people that sound like clowns. But I do think I sound like a clown. Loud and correct buzzer, huh? Nuh-uh? You disagree? You don't think I sound like a clown? I think clowns are very cool. You know, I have very deep respect for clowns. They're educated. They go to clown college. Synesthesia, your voice is warm choco chip cookie. Really? I love chocolate chip cookies. I've always thought those were really yummy. Oh my gosh, I want to make some. I wanted to make dessert recently. I think my sister is actually making brownies in the next room still. She started cooking them just before I went live. I was like, oh my god, I can't wait to have one of these. Oh, there's some left. Don't talk about our Oshi like that. Oh my gosh, you just pulled the thing that I pull. I don't know if you've ever heard me say this before, but whenever a friend of mine says something mean about themselves or like says something insecure sounding, I'm always like, be nice to my friend. I talk to them like they're talking about somebody else in third person. I do that a lot. I don't know if we just like convergently develop the same speaking habit there, but yeah, it's a thing that I do a lot. You know, again, no insecurity. I think there's a charm to having a clown-like voice. That's just what I personally hear. I own it. Kaelix fandom. I already clarified. You're not the Kaelix fandom. That doesn't exist. I talked about this on stream a billion years ago, so I realized that not everybody was there to hear it. So I'll say it again. When it cracked me up so bad, people responding to my, because you know I check my quote retweets sometimes. People responding to my tweet about like big win for the Kaelix fandom, and they're like, "Oh, my heart's broken. I'm gonna cry. I just got fandom zoned. I lost my name. I'm just the Kaelix fandom now." That is not what that means. Kaelix fandom is a joke that I've been telling for literally like 5 or 6 years. I've been telling this joke for like 5 or 6 years before I had a fandom. I've been saying it for so long, just to like my friends and family. Like for example, I made pasta earlier and it came out really yummy. And I'd be like, big win for the Kaelix fandom. You know what I mean? The Kaelix fandom is not an actual group of people. This is a joke that I've been telling before I had a single fan to my name. Fandom zoned? I don't remember if that's the phrase that was used, but that's pretty much the tone of all those tweets. People are like, oh my god, I feel like I just got broken up with. Like talking about it like I had just said something so cold and distant. When it was a joke I've been telling for years. And then suddenly, the moment I explain it, everybody wants to be in the Kaelix fandom. Make up your mind. What's the deal? I just don't get it. I can never tell what it is you want. You just can't seem to form a consensus on anything. You can't agree unanimously on anything. And when you agree, you change your mind as soon as I give in. Right? You're just a contrarian is what you are. You just love to be contrary. You love to go contrary to whatever it is I want you to do. So funny. I ask you to make a decision, it'll be 50-50. I ask you to do something for me, it'll be the opposite. You hate me, but you also don't. You just can't make up your mind. It's so funny. I think it's funny. I think it is so silly. And again, I said this before, I prefer it this way. I'm still cracking up over that poll. I'm still cracking up. That was really funny. Like, I gave you multiple hours. Hello, Frio. Soon Debonairs. Yeah. But honestly, it's hard to articulate because I think some people definitely are kind of like tsundere, right? And that like on stream they'll be like, tomato, boo! I'm gonna throw a brick at you. Tomatoes aren't heavy enough. But then on social media, they'll be like, he was so sweet today. But then there are some that are just like sweet around the clock. It's like a clean split there too. The way I've been describing it lately is that half of them want to baby me and treat me like a little baby guy, and like dress me up and take me on a like a walk to the park and have tea together. And then the other half want to tie a cinder block to my ankle and throw me into the ocean. No one said that. I don't want to hear it. I see everything. You don't have to use these words for me to know exactly what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. I can read. I can read between the lines. And listen, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, it's good to have variety. That's how I've described it. I think I prefer it this way. I think if everybody felt the same way about everything, life would be so boring. There'd be nothing for us to talk about. I'd be like, you feel this way, don't you? And then you'd say, yeah, I feel exactly that way. The end. 50-50. You want to do both? You want to take me on a tea party and tie a cinder block to my ankle? You want to do both? You represent the people with a capital P. It cracks me up. I think it's sweet. Full disclosure. No, I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. And listen here. At the end of the day, no, I need to stop. I need to stop. It's so addicting. It's so addicting. Like, riddle me this. At the end of the day is out. What? No, it's not. It's in, I swear. At the end of the day is in. I declare what's in and what's out. That's my job, not yours, okay? At the end of the day, in. Riddle me this. Also in. 48 hours. What? Come on. It's got to have at least a week. Let her have her day in the sun, you know? I think she's great. Part of the secret third group that wants to study me under a microscope. Ah, I've seen some of that too. Like, you'd be like the population that just constantly says this one quote. They say, I love whatever's wrong with you. Yeah, I get that one a lot. You could never scratch the surface of everything that's wrong with me. Don't worry. Give it up. Oh my goodness. Cracks me up. You just say things. You really just say things. I think you just say things. I'm pointing at you. I'm pointing at you like your name is Goody Proctor. You just say things. Oh my gosh, speaking of Steven Universe, spoiler moment, but it makes me think of where she's like, someone like one of you. I just got carried away or whatever. That's what I just thought of. Nuh-uh. What are you talking about? Riddle me this. Oh my goodness. Say things, think later. That honestly and unfortunately is how it goes for me sometimes. I just kind of, I don't know, I don't have that much of a filter. Obviously I have one when I need it, but sometimes I'll say something and then recognize that it has a secondary meaning after I've said it. That's my problem. You know, I'm thinking about what I'm saying, but you know, I say a little faster than I think sometimes. I speak a little faster than I think. And then people twist my words with their dark language. And suddenly I'm the pervert. Suddenly I'm Floptina Budusi when I've done nothing wrong. I'll be free and innocent. I'll be not guilty on all charges, and yet I'll be remembered by the world as a criminal, as a freak. Sometimes I say things knowing 100% what I'm saying. Can I get an example? I'd like to know what you think I say knowing what I'm saying. I feel like there's definitely been an occasion, but I can't think of any. I feel like every time people like react crazily at me, like I've said something insane. Okay, yeah, the Brewster thing was on purpose. But it wasn't initially on purpose. It became on purpose after I got a reaction. The Brewster thing initially was not on purpose. Pee-pee, no. That is not on purpose. Oh my God. Wow. Wait, I talk about pee-pee so often. Oh no. It came with receipts. Good horse. Okay, that's different. I'm not saying anything wrong when I say good horse, am I? I'm just praising my horse. You're the one that wants me to say something wrong. Suddenly this isn't a safe space anymore. Never mind, forget I asked. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, speaking of pee-pee being one of those, I was talking about things that are in, as in things that are currently trendy and okay to joke about, and things that are out. Saw how that was responded. I saw how people reacted to that. I saw how that went. Not on purpose. Full disclosure, not on purpose. Sorry about that. I was actually really embarrassed about that because that one went on for like a minute. I don't know. I got really embarrassed about that. Sometimes I just don't realize. My intentions are pure, I swear. My intentions are pure. I don't know, because I'm not as sick and twisted and nasty as you can be. It doesn't always dawn on me quite as quickly. You're just very talented at recognizing immediately the sick and twisted, perverted secondary meaning of the things that I say. But it's never intended. Well, it's usually not intended. Usually, if it's on purpose, it's because I said something on accident and then I got a crazy response and then I decided to double down. That's usually what happens. Like the thing about Brewster's milk and his cookie. That was on purpose, but it wasn't at first. Reality check. What? What are you talking about? Are you implying something? Are you implying that I'm the sicko? I think not. I should think not. I should say I'm not. Flop Oshi, what? I didn't even serve in the Flop Tropical War. Don't bring that back. I guess I kind of bring it back because I've been kind of hooked on saying Floptina Budusi, and that's from the Flop Tropical War. Yeah, I guess I kind of deserve that. Yeah, I didn't even serve in the Flop Tropical War. I wasn't there. I was not there for that. I just watched it from the outside. Get well soon. I should hit you with the Uno reverse. That's what I'll say. So what war? The Flop Tropical War. Do you remember? It was 1 billion years ago. AKA, I think it was like 5 years ago. Maybe 4. I don't remember. It feels like it was way longer than it probably was to me. Kind of nostalgic, actually. It was a meme for a little bit. It was the Flop Tropical War. It's an imaginary war. Why doesn't anyone know? If you don't know, never mind. It's honestly, Flop Tropica, out. It's no longer in. It has not been in for multiple years now. Flop Tropica is out. However, Flop Tina Badussi is having a resurgence. It might just be in, but it's also technically out, you know? Yeah, Flop Tropica's out. Yeah, maybe it was a different side of the internet. Maybe that's what it was. Is Autotune out? I think Autotune should be out. However, it could come back in at any time. Autotune is kind of timeless. It's kind of forever. You know what I mean? Autotune is evergreen. I could go 7 months without using Autotune, God willing. And then if I just impulsively decide to bring it back, spur of the moment decision, it'd be in. You know what I mean? It could come back anytime. It's in the ship. It's in the ship. Why is it in the ship? I think about that so often. Yeah, no autotune today. Do you remember the criteria? There's some criteria that a stream has to meet for me to be allowed to pull out autotune. Though technically I could break the criteria. I could break the rules if I just really wanted to, but for it to be like an acceptable situation, it has to be either an Animal Crossing stream or a stream where Shu Yamino is present in some way. And then the third sub rule is that if it's an Animal Crossing stream and Shu is present, I have to turn on autotune for at least a little bit. Those are the rules. The fourth one is that I could also just do it if I really want to. But that one's kind of like an unspoken thing that I've just made spoken. You know what I mean? I just spoke the unspoken. I'm just so cool like that. What can I say? So silly. Why is it in the ship? It's in the ship. It's in the ship. Why is it in the ship? So funny because it's not even a ship. It's a truck. There's no ship. There's not one ship in sight. No ships in repo. Is Shu lurking? I doubt it right now. You never know with Shu though. I think he's John NIJISANJI when it comes to like being in everybody's stream. He's always there. I think he's always lurking in the shadows. You never know when he could show up. Yeah, it's not a ship. There's no ship in repo. It's a truck. But he said it's a ship, so it's a ship. There's a ship in repo. There was a ship the whole time. I was just joking. Crouch! Crouch! Is it me, Shu, and Frio? Yeah, I feel like I do see Frio a lot in other places as well. I feel like whenever I'm lurking silently, sometimes I'll hear them say his name, and there he is. And he was here just earlier too. He might even still be sneaking around in the shadows. Who knows? I have been lacking, haven't I? Yeah, I've been slacking recently. I've been slacking. I haven't been owning up to my Hako Oshi NIJISANJI En title. I'm flopping. I'm not watching enough streams lately. Which is so funny because usually when I work, I like to listen to streams, but these days I've been listening to music more than streams. I've been blasting songs on loop. I need to get back into my parallel play stream work experience. Yeah, I'll return. Don't worry. I'll be hello fellow viewers again before you know it. What have I been looping lately? All of Sentimilimental's newest album, which I say new album, but a lot of the songs are actually previously released as singles. It's a compilative album as well as it has a few new songs. There's like 4 or 5 new ones, I think. I've been just looping it on replay. Just repeat. In track order. It's so good. I love Sentimilimental. He's so cool. I've been listening to him a lot. Here come Big Senti Millie. Wow. Yeah, actually, no. I'm proud of that. I want to be Big Senti Millie. I am not his biggest fan, but I wish I was. Like, the day I have the time to just follow him on every tour and see him live. I've never seen him live. I think that's the saddest thing in the world. I want to see him live so bad. The day I catch him at a live performance, oh my gosh. That'll be an item off my bucket list. Just in general, I'd like to see any of my favorite artists live, and he's my favorite, like #1. So he's been touring a lot though, last couple of years. He's been doing a bunch. So I might just get an opportunity. Oh, here's hoping. Yeah, right. I imagine it does hit different if you can see something you really like live. I think seeing live music in general is a magical experience. That I've only experienced a small handful of times, and never from any artist that I really liked beforehand. I've only really seen smaller things or things that I participated in live. I imagine if it's something that you've been following for a while, it's got to be magical, right? Like extra magical. Which of his songs is my favorite? It's been pretty firm for the last year. I've been hooked on Super Ultra I Love You for a year and a half now. There have been a couple other songs of his that might just shake that #1 position, but I don't know. This one has just kind of like locked itself in. It might be my favorite song overall for a while. Yeah, I love his music. I want to see if I can sing one of his songs someday. Though I can't sing it quite like he can. I'd have to get a key change. He's a super strong tenor. I'm a fake tenor. I'm not a real tenor. Contrary to popular belief, I'm not a tenor. I'm not really a bass anymore either. It's kind of weird. It's like if I participated in a chorus right now, I'd sing as a bass 1. Because baritones do not exist as far as choral technique and division go, usually. Baritone, probably the most accurate term, because I'm kind of stuck floating in between. I used to be able to sing properly as a bass, like as a true bass with a bass's range and tone, but I neglected the lower end of that range for a while, last few years in a row. And I've been working really hard to up my range up at the top. So I've gained some at the top, but I've lost some at the bottom. And my tone has shifted a little bit as a result as well. Did I ever compete? Well, it depends on how you describe competition. Because in a sense, I competed every time I participated in a big event, because those were audition only. And if you didn't get within the top certain number, you wouldn't get in. In that sense, I did compete. I never did solo competition, though. That wasn't available to me. I'm very proud. 1 year in particular, for one specific event that was very big and had a very big pool, I actually had the highest score among all the bases. And potentially among others, but I don't actually know. Without giving too many specifics, I'll say that the way that it was scored, it was a number of judges, and each one gave you a score out of a certain number. And we'll say that the total number was, like, a perfect score would have been 300. For that particular audition, I got a 298. And I was very, very proud of that, because prior years, I did not get anywhere near that high. Yeah, I felt really, really good about that. I worked really, really hard on that particular song, and I had really drilled in sight reading at the time as well. Like, that was a very unreasonably high score by usual standards. I was kind of shocked. Yeah, that is my shining achievement, and it's one that I'll never be able to prove to you, but that is my shining achievement among all the things that I did when I was still a classical student. That was my shining achievement. It was lots of fun. I kind of miss that even now. It's been a while. It's been a good while for me. What did I win? Nothing. I got to participate. Didn't get anything special for ranking higher. I just my director happened to tell me. He was like, "Oh, Kaelix, by the way, this is the highest score among all the other ones in this section." I was like, "Oh, really?" Can I still sight read? A little bit. It's been a while since I practiced regularly, so sometimes I need to readjust, and sometimes I get it wrong as well in any random situation where I am sight reading. What would be better for me is if I have the time to practice a piece of sheet music first and then run through it, because then I'll have the time to like take into account the key and any changes, any flats and sharps. Yeah, I used to be really good at sight reading. That was the one thing I practiced the hardest because I knew it would be a bigger weakness for a lot of the other people auditioning. So my thought was that if I did really good at that, it would give me an edge and give me a greater chance of participating. And I participated every time as a result. So it's also really fun. It's really fun to learn sight reading. It's a little complicated as a vocalist compared to doing it as an instrumentalist, I'll say, because I have some experience in both. I think a saving grace of sight reading as an instrumentalist is that you know exactly what sound is going to come out when you do a certain, like for example, a certain key. If you press a certain key or a certain button, if you pluck a certain string in a certain position, if you blow into an instrument with the valves in a certain position, you know exactly what sound it's going to make, right? So just seeing it on paper tells you what you need. As a vocalist, you kind of have to reorient yourself to whatever key you're singing in, and you have to keep track of that key as you go if you're sight reading a cappella. It's a lot. I can't say for sure because there might be some instruments where it's harder to sight read. For example, maybe a bowed instrument would be pretty difficult to sight read on, but in my personal opinion, I think sight reading as a vocalist is one of the hardest things that I've ever learned to do. I kind of miss working rigorously in that direction, because all the vocal training that I've done the last year or two has been much more like contemporary. I'm trying to get better at like pop and stuff, modern music. I don't have nearly as much experience with it. I hate to cut that off, however, but I hate to wait. What was I gonna say? I hate to cut that off. However, we are nearing the end of the speed run. My timer is about to actually, I'm gonna prevent my timer from going off. Okay. But yeah, we gotta get the redirect ready for my president, for the president of the United States, Miss Rosamy Lovelock. Yeah, thank you for hanging out with me today. I had a lot of fun. I hope that you can get some good rest. All right. Really quickly, I'm going to show you my schedule for the rest of the week. We're nearing the end. Just a little bit left. So today we had a short chat, very short, just an hour long. I think that might be our shortest one yet. Probably. I'm pretty sure that might actually be our shortest chat ever. More long chats to come, I hope. Tomorrow, I will be playing Peak with my boys. I've missed them so much. I'm so happy. The drought is over. We're going to play Peak together with By the Beat. I'm pretty sure this will be split POV, so you can just watch it on whichever channel you want. Or if you'd like the full experience, you can do what I like to do in these situations as a viewer and just like pull up multiple POVs and mute all but one of them. Like listen to one and then watch all four. It's up to you. Just do whatever you want. I don't know if everybody will be doing a POV though. I haven't really confirmed that, but I'm pretty sure that's how it'll go. I don't know. Anyway, Saturday, to wrap up the week, I'll be doing Evil Villain Karaoke. Also, I thought about it. I've decided to be evil. I mentioned that I would either drop the teaser list Friday morning in text or do it Thursday, today, as audio. And then I realized that I would not be delivering on true villain behavior. I wouldn't be actually evil if I did that, because that's giving you too much time and too much grace. So, in order to really live up to the villain image, I'm going to be extra evil. I'm going to do it the day of, on Saturday, as a Twitter space. And what you'll hear, it'll be something like... Well, something like... like this. So it'll be up to you to listen to it and then to decode it. But again, if you know how to handle this kind of thing, I would say this is the easiest one ever. Like to me personally, this is the easiest setlist teaser to date, because emojis are subjective. This is like an absolute answer. So I'm actually kind of being nice if you really think about it. So yeah, I hope you can enjoy. I hope you can enjoy it. And if you're unfamiliar, then I hope you can learn something new. Thankfully, something I love about Debonairs is that they are very kind and very quick to educate and inform people if they've missed something. So I have faith that if you don't recognize how to use this or how to process it, you might actually know somebody who does and who'd be willing to share it with you. So maybe you could learn a new fun thing today, tomorrow, day after, actually. Saturday is when I'll be doing it. I'll be doing it Saturday morning. Yeah, I'll be rooting for you anyway. I can't make it too easy. I gotta be evil, right? I gotta be a villain. But yeah, I'm gonna let you go now. I'm gonna send you off to Miss Rosamy. She's going to have her final stream here in just a minute now. Show her some extra kindness. More now than ever, please be respectful. Don't talk about me at all. Don't mention a word of me being there. Just show her some love. Send her off with dignity and with love and respect. She's worked very, very hard these last few years, 4 whole years and then some. So I hope that she can have a final stream with a smile. You know what I mean? I hope she can have a good last stream. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna send you off now. Get some good rest. Stay safe. Have a tasty meal when you can. I will see you again tomorrow with By the Beat. All right? See you later. Bye-bye.